Salvador is scared for his life and has the documentation to prove it. The construction worker was shot 8 times by gunmen in a small town. He says he was attacked again in 2013 by the same politically linked group. He fled to the United States, but his asylum application was denied. Since then, Salvador's been in hiding.
El estar viviendo una situación así, estar preso en su propio país.
Being in my situation is like being a prisoner in your own country, but instead of a jail, you could be trapped in your own house. Escaping from these kinds of people isn't something I'd wish on anyone. It's very difficult to put my feelings into words.
Guatemala and neighboring El Salvador and Honduras are 3 of the most violent countries in the world. Soaring crime from gangs and drug traffickers is driving tens of thousands of people north every year. A new report by Amnesty International says these governments need to do more to protect their citizens, to reduce the constant threat of violence that permeates nearly every level of society.
This is Guatemala City's largest market, and business owners here are forced to pay extortion to gang members or face violent reprisals. But extortion extends far beyond these market stalls, affecting teachers, students, bus drivers, restaurant owners, and even prostitutes.
But the head of Guatemala's anti-gang unit says there's no evidence to suggest people from here are fleeing from violence.
Obviously, in places where we've determined there's gangs activity, the security is affected. However, up until now, we haven't registered any incidents where insecurity caused Guatemalan citizens to migrate.
Advocates say minimizing the link between violence and migration stops governments from taking concrete steps to confront the crisis.
As a country, we have to accept that we have a problem and that many people here need to seek asylum in other countries. The state needs to recognize this problem rather than denying it and help the organizations working with migrants.
Salvador thought these statements to local prosecutors would help him to get government protection. Instead, he says his only hope is heading back north. David Mercer, Al Jazeera, Guatemala City.